everyone, Chris from CK Cycles here. Well, this is frame preparation and media blasting part 2. And so I've got the frame stripped down. I did my best to wire brush and clean off all of the heavy oil and grease deposits and gunk from the frame. So hopefully as I blast it, the frame will come clean. And I am working to get my oil ports plugged. So hopefully I won't have any media getting into my oil reservoir in the frame. I did change up my plans on blasting the frame though. I had planned on blasting the frame in my blasting chamber in the shop with glass beads. But I've decided against that. And I've decided to blast the frame outdoors, and I'm going to use some crushed walnut instead. I really am concerned about media getting into the oil reservoir on this tank, or on this bike, and I don't want that to happen. And I think if I am able to be outside in open air, there's a little breeze today, hopefully I'll be able to mitigate that chance as much as possible. All of like the fine dust, which I think could sneak its way in, will hopefully blow away instead. And so we're going to do it outside. It's it's about, I don't know, 36 37 degrees here in Michigan today. It's sunny and it is a little breezy, so it might be a good day for blasting. It might not be, I don't know, we'll find out, but that's what I'm going to do. Well, let me show you how I'm plugging my oil reservoirs here and what I've done. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm starting with just a plug that will fit inside the oil fill hole there on my frame. I'm going to plug it, then seal it with some hot glue, and then wrap it in some tape. And I'm just using a little bit of rubbing alcohol here just to clean off as much oil and grease off of the filler here, because when I tape it, I want that tape to stick, and I also would like my hot glue to stick a little bit. So I'm just going to wipe this down with some rubbing alcohol, let that dry. Wipe my plug down as well, get that cleaned off. And then I'll just stick the plug right in there, and it's a tight fit as it is. You can see my plug is in there. And now I'm just going to go around with a bead of hot glue all the way around. And I'm not going to be too stingy on the hot glue. I think this stuff will peel off the frame pretty easily when I'm done. But I think it will give a little extra measure of seal. Okay, so I have a good bead of hot glue all the way around. Now, I'm just going to take a length of Gorilla Tape and that glue is still a little soft, so maybe it'll mush in there even more. And seal up that tape. This is a little bit larger port than my other one, so I'm going to use an extra piece here just to get the top folded over. Okay, and there you go. I'm hoping that is sealed. And I've done the same thing here with these two ports. I plugged them, glued them, taped them. and also down here, plugged it, glued it, and taped it. Okay, and so with that, I think we're going to transfer the frame outside. I have a little blasting area set up. I did lay down a tarp. I know that I think I've read that walnut shell is kind of a one-time use thing, but I am going to try and capture the crushed walnut. You know, not all the media that comes out of my blaster is used, you know, in blasting my substrate, my frame. You know, I think quite a bit of the media just goes flying everywhere. So I think some of it probably I could collect and maybe try to reuse. I just want to make sure that I'm able to blast the whole frame with the box of media I have. So I'm going to try and string it along as much as possible. So let's go outside and let's get blasting.
Recording.
All right, so I decided to give up on blasting the frame outside. My blasting setup didn't really work with the walnut shell. So I moved back inside, and I'm going to be blasting the frame with glass beads. And I'm just going to take a risk that I might get some blasting media in my oil reservoir. I'm hoping not. But why don't you come on over, take a look, and show you what we're doing here. So this spot up here's got, this joint's got some rust on it, and we're going to do a little blasting. So there you go. It's just going to take time, and I'll just go at a nice slow pace. Nice thing is my chamber is big enough to fit the entire frame in. I'll have to take the frame out and, you know, change up its orientation in the chamber to be sure I can get to the entire frame. And it might take me a couple afternoons of just working at it to get it done. But I'm thinking once I get the frame completely blasted and I get ready to prime all of this, all of these frame pieces in the swing arm, I'll come back and do a video on that. All right, we'll see you later.